Hello and welcome to the Mike Duffy Goes Running YouTube channel with me, Mike Duffy, and I'm here today to deliver the first running vlog event of 2025. I know what you're thinking, but Mike, you did a sort of vlog the other week when you did Belton House Park Run. Yes, correct, I did, but this is the first 10k event of many in 2025, and it's Watford 10k. I've sort of done it. I've amalgamated a trip to see my beloved Watford FC. Unfortunately, today when we played, which is a day of recording, we lost 1-0. Sorry, we didn't even score. We lost 1-0 to Norwich. So I'm stopping in the Premier Inn, and the beauty is over there. You can just maybe see out a shot the curtains there, the window. Over the road is where the run is tomorrow. So for the first time ever, I'm going to have to pick up my runner's number tomorrow. I've never had to do that before. Usually they post it out well in advance, but for some reason they're not doing that this time. So I'm going to pick that up around about 9 o'clock, I think. And yeah, hopefully put in a good performance. I think, listen, it's hard for me to stand here now and try and guess a time as to what I'd like to aim for. I think I'll maybe be better off doing that in tomorrow's video. But I would say worst case scenario, I don't want it to be any longer than an hour and 45 minutes. I don't for 1 minute think it's going to be that. I've been told that maybe it's a little bit hillier than the courses I'm used to. That is going to be a problem if it is. We'll see how we deal with that. No GoPro, unfortunately, so probably won't get much footage of the course itself. I know that's the whole point of the vlog, but I'll try and vlog everything else and then give you my thoughts afterwards as well. So yeah, in the Premier Inn now. Ordered a Subway for dinner, nothing too heavy. Wake up in the morning, maybe get a bit of porridge, something small for breakfast. Get to the park about 9 o'clock, pick up my number, get a good warm up in me, and then hopefully put in a good shift around Watford, and then head back to Lincoln straight after the run. So fingers crossed, but the next video will be the morning of the run. Hopefully I can get a decent night's sleep. And yeah, fingers crossed all goes well tomorrow, but I will see you tomorrow. Hello, so it is the morning of the run, Sunday morning. I've just had a look out the curtains and it looks like it's quite a frosty day, so who knows what the course is going to be like. Hopefully it thaws out. It is only 7:45 and the run starts at 10, so it's got almost a couple of hours to thaw out, so hopefully it warms up a little bit. Otherwise it could be quite slippy underfoot. As I say, it is 7:45, so I'm going to go down and grab some breakfast in a minute. For my canal run, I had some porridge the morning of, and I found that it was quite good in terms of releasing the energy in short bursts. So I'm going to see if I can grab myself some porridge, go down, have that, and then I can head over to the park to pick my number up, and then yeah, it won't be long before run time. Not the best night's sleep, if I'm being honest. We had the fire alarm go off in the middle of the night last night, and by the time I jumped out of bed and put some clothes on, it had stopped. So yeah, I reckon someone just left the door open when they were showering, which, if that was you and you're in Croxley Green, damn you. But yeah, it's a cold one this morning, so yeah, I'm feeling okay though, you know. Feel like it might not be my quickest. It's definitely not going to be my quickest, but as long as it's not my slowest one, that is all that matters. But yeah, I'll show you the park when I arrive. So yeah, I'll see you shortly. First issue of the day. I don't know why, but my toes started to feel as if it's been caught or sore. Long story short, I lost a nail there for something I did at work. Something grew back. I don't know what it was. It certainly wasn't a nail, and now it's very sore. So I'm hoping it's just a blip and it's nothing too serious, because that could cause me a bit of jib today. But the hotel is literally behind me, and this is the park. So that's how close I am. But like I say, I have to go the other end. So yeah, but it's frosty today, let me tell you. So today's going to be interesting, very, very interesting. But I'm feeling as good as I can, all things considered. A few beers yesterday, probably not the ideal preparation, but it is what it is. So yeah, let's go. So I can already hear someone on a megaphone over in that direction. But this is Castleberry Park, man. It's lovely. I don't think I've ever been in here, to be honest. But yeah, what a lovely picturesque run you could have here. And I think this is going to be part of the route as well. So yeah, almost at the event village. Very nice. I have just noticed something else. So, yesterday, I come down. I always try and pack the night before when I'm staying away. And I come down and I had every lead. And I've now learned that the Premier Inn don't have the new USB Type-C leads. So my watch hasn't been charged, but I turned it off. It's on about 60%. So we'll see if the watch lasts the whole run. Fingers crossed. But yeah, getting more footage before the race than during it probably. So this is Castleberry Park. It's huge. The only park I know that's this big is Sutton Park and Sheldon Country Park from where I am. And already, if this was Sunday League, this would obviously be called off. And it's very slippy underfoot. And I just walked through a bit where there was a run route arrow to say this is part of the route, and it was like a swamp. Mud, never seen quite anything like it before. I had a look as well, and this said the highest elevation climb was 252 feet, and I panicked a bit because I was like, that's insanely high. Well, Strava works things out on mine in meters, and it turns out this will be nothing compared to some of the ones I've done, famous last words and all that. As you can probably tell, I'm just getting out of breath having walked quite a bit, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But this is it in all its beauty. Almost at the event village. I can hear them now. So just got to the event village. It's just behind me, and not some great news to start with, to be honest, for me. So I just heard someone on a megaphone saying how I can't believe this. So there's a tree falling at the end of the 10k route, so they've changed the route and it's now 10.5 kilometres. And you're probably thinking, but Mike, it's only an extra half a kilometre. I struggle with 10, let alone another half of them. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one today. Just got to the event village. Also just found out as well that the 10k actually starts at 20 past 10, not 10 o'clock. So a bit of waiting around longer than I thought I would be. But yeah, here at the event village now. See if I can, there we go. So yeah, let's go get my number. So back in the car, having finished the Watford 10k. That was tough. Just before I start, I want to say a massive shout out to John Parslow for running the first 4.5 kilometres with me. Without him, I'd have ran a lot slower today. I think it's some sort of, well, I don't know about record, but it's definitely the longest that I've ran without needing to stop today. 24.5 minutes I ran for. And that was the first time where my body really was like, okay, you need to stop and have a breather. So, like I say, without John, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I think sometimes I'm sort of a bit ignorant to the fact that having someone to run with who's willing to run at the same speed as you, and granted that is very hard to find when you run at the speed I do, or the speed I do, the lack of speed I do. That really does help, because, you know, like I say, without him, I just wouldn't be able to have, I wouldn't have ran anywhere near that amount today without thinking, oh, bloody hell, I need to stop. So big shout out to him. Thank you. He probably won't watch this, but if he does, thank you very much, John. But yeah, that was a good course. I had a few people message when they found out I was doing the Watford 10k, and a few people sort of said, oh, you know, watch out for the hills and whatnot. And again, I shouldn't let things like this affect me, but I do. I'm human, I can't help it. There's a reason why a lot of the runs that I've done in terms of park runs and 10Ks are on very flat, sort of pancake flat surfaces, because anything to do with hills or even gradual inclines, my body just doesn't allow it. My body just cannot do it. So when I got told today that there are a few hills, I was a little bit worried. I was up quite early this morning, didn't have the best night's sleep, so I was a little bit worried about that. Got to the event, legs felt really heavy, and then obviously I hear over the microphone that, oh, by the way, if you're doing the 10k, there's a tree falling down, so we're adding an extra half kilometre on. And granted, a half kilometre is not that long, but when you're absolutely blowing out the proverbial, an extra half kilometre is really tough. So, you know, I was a little bit worried about how I was going to fare with that. But yeah, I must say there was a hill sort of, well, it was towards the end, like right on the home stretch. Obviously we passed it going downhill on the way, felt really comfortable. That's what a lot of people call free energy when you're running down the hill, because your body's not going the absolute, you know, most. It's just sort of your body's doing it without doing it, if that makes sense. So running back up it at the end was quite a slog, but I got there and I did it, so I was happy with that. And fair play to them, they put the electronic mat down at the 10k point so that you got your 10k time, and then obviously the finish line was at, they said 10.5, but my watch clocked it at 10.8. But like I say, it's technically the second longest time I've had in a 10k, so on paper it's probably not the best, but do you know what? I don't care. That's the happiest I've ever felt coming out of a run. No sort of mental demons. A few sort of question marks in my own head towards the end of the run. You know, when John left me at that 4.5k mark, the rest of the run was sort of a little bit stop-start at times, but I really pushed myself to the maximum today. And I've sat down now because I'm in my car, obviously, but I've got a 2.5 hour drive back home, and I'm not gonna like trying to get out the car when I get home because my back was in pieces, and yeah, my body feels a bit stiff. I probably should have taken advantage of the massages they were giving out at the event. But really recommend the Watford 10k. Like I say, pretty much pancake flat throughout, and then just at the end you've got a bit of an incline. I had a look as well at the incline and how much it was in feet, because it was on the event information, and it was nowhere near the highest incline that I've faced on a run. That award goes to the Sutton Park Birmingham Running Festival. So yeah, that was tough. But this is the medal, so there we go. It's got the heart for Hertfordshire. A lot of people, when it comes to the Watford football badge, why are they called the Hornets when they've got a moose on their badge? Well, get the boring bit out of the way. It's a heart that represents Hertfordshire, which is the county that Watford is in. So really like the medal. I'm not just being biased here, but that might be one of my favourite ones. And also as well, a word on the people of Watford. Watford gets a lot of stick from people outside and some inside as well. You know, a lot of people saying it's not a very nice area, it's quite run down, you know, it's on the outskirts of London, if you like. But do you know what? And I'm not just saying this again because it's Watford, but in terms of runners wishing you all the best, that was the most I've been sort of spurred on by other runners. So you have people running past you, well done, keep going, you're doing great. Out of all the 10Ks I've done, that was the most. Birmingham 10K is my favourite one, and I'm gutted I can't do it this year. And the crowds at Birmingham 10K are amazing. Obviously the crowds here today, nowhere near the amount that's in Birmingham, but it's not gonna be. But in terms of runners, fellow runners support, that wins hands down. So if you were there today and you ran past a guy who was running really slow, who wasn't an old guy with a Zimmer frame, that was me. And if you thanked me, thank you very much, because it's stuff like that that really helps, you know. Kids are so funny, right? I ran past these two kids with their parent. They had their hands out like wanting high fives from runners, and the one kid said to me, you need to run faster than that. Like, they're so honest, and he's absolutely spot on. I do. But when you're really, really struggling and you're starting to doubt yourself in your head, and even though the finish line's in sight, it's still a slog for your body, that's when those shouts of keep going, you're doing really, really well, that's when those help. So a massive, massive thank you. And yeah, if anyone ever does the Watford 10k or half marathon and has watched this, appreciate it's not a vlog. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because if I name it this, I name it this anyway, but I think I'm going to do this going forward until I get a GoPro, is sort of review the run, few clips beforehand and whatnot, sort of documenting my day, and then do a review of the run like I'm doing now afterwards. I think I'm going to do that going forward, because you just can't film with a phone whilst you're trying to run. I certainly can't anyway. But if anyone's ever doing this one, needs a recommendation where to stay and you're not from Watford, the Premier Inn at Croxley Green, literally I'm looking at a roundabout right in front of me. Castleberry Park is behind that roundabout, and it's about a 5-10 minute walk once you're in the park to get to where the event village is. A massive shout out as well to Adam Moyat, I think I'm pronouncing that surname right. Ian Beale, as you probably know him better as, he was running the half marathon today there. Really wanted to grab a selfie, but he looked like he was in a rush to get off. So I don't know what time the chippy opens, but obviously it opens soon, hence the reason to rushing off. But yeah, that's today's review done. And yeah, really, really happy with that. So if you've liked this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you at the next one.